Hello and welcome back to the check-in desk.
Holiday highs, lows and where to goes.
You're here with Tom and Joe. We're here to delve into the weird and wonderful world of travel, exploring things to do in some of our favourite destinations.
So let's find out where we're going today.
And this week we are in...
Mauritius!
Yes!
Woohoo!
Should say initially, welcome back to episode 3 of the check-in desk. Like I said, this week we're in Mauritius. The home of powder white sand beaches.
The home of?
The home of.
No black sand this week.
No black sand this week. We've left all of the black sand out there in St Lucia. Now it's just pure white, unadulterated Paradise Island sort of stuff.
Amazing.
It's incredible. So in this week's episode, obviously we're covering all things Mauritius, so we'll be going through, obviously, a bit about those beaches. But then we'll also be talking a little bit more about, obviously, the things to do in Mauritius, which will sort of centre around more natural attractions, the same as if we're in St Lucia last week. A lot of natural attractions going on in St Lucia too.
There was.
Same again here in Mauritius, but then we'll also take a little sojourn through.
What does that mean?
It means a brief trip. A sojourn.
Sojourn?
Yeah.
You've made that up.
That's a word. It is.
Okay.
We'll be taking a sojourn.
It?
S-O.
So, J-O-U-R-N?
Yeah.
Have you just gone along with
I
that?
couldn't remember if there was a U before the J or after.
Oh, right, so sojourn.
Yeah.
But is it sojourn?
Sojourn. So yeah, we'll be talking about Mauritius, and it's even a place where there is multicoloured soil. So even the soil in Mauritius is beautiful.
Why? What colours?
We'll get to it.
Okay.
We'll get to it. Don't peek behind the curtain already.
Sorry, I'm too excited.
We'll get to it. But for now, let's delve into your bag of incredible research.
Well, did you know?
You have a fact.
I have a fact. Did you know that the dodo was native to Mauritius and it lived there for millions of years?
Really?
Before it went extinct. Yeah, millions. And it apparently stood like a metre tall.
Oh,
It's a flightless bird.
Yeah, I get that, but I think maybe when I picture a dodo, I actually picture a kiwi, because they're both flightless.
I picture a duck. Yeah, just with a different beat.
Well, they're just like, we're so happy with these ducks that we've got. Make it our national emblem. It's brilliant. Like,
is it the national emblem?
I don't know. I made it up. It
You've
might not
made
be.
that up. That's just the bird that lived there for millions of years.
The duck.
Well, no, it's a dodo. Not to be confused with dido.
Not to be confused with dido. No.
So anyway, yeah, it lived there for ages and ages, but because it was bit fat, bit heavy, short wings, couldn't fly, couldn't escape predators.
God, I relate so hard.
Yeah.
What a guy.
It's your spirit animal.
It is, and knowing that now is, I understand why it did become extinct.
Yeah, poor thing couldn't run away from its predators.
The guy was like, I was gonna say running lunch, but it's more like waddling. Moving.
Waddling lunch. Yeah, but it was a scary looking thing. Have you looked at a picture of a dodo? Horrible.
Only, I was going to say only in my mind, but like the picture I have of it in my mind, like I said, it's still, I think it's still the kiwi. Like this tiny little bird with little legs that can't fly.
That little like blackbird thing.
Yeah.
That looks like it should have arms but doesn't.
I don't know. That's on you.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
You just picture the kiwi with arms.
Yeah.
This would look so much better with arms. This kiwi.
Yeah, because it looks like it's going to topple over. So it looks like it needs some arms to like prop itself up in case it did trip.
You just go, whoa.
Yeah. Little sticks that come out of his feathers.
God, these arms. Otherwise, it's just basically tripping and whacking its head on the floor. So, yeah, that is Grand Bay in a nutshell.
In a very quick nutshell.
Really bad nutshell. It
Really
seems
bad, actually. Rotten nutshell.
But moving away from not very far actually away from Grand Bay, but
How far?
like 30 minutes drive.
Oh,
Well, 33 minutes
I'm
drive.
impressed you came up with the facts on that one.
Yeah, you thought you were going to trip me up.
Yeah, I
again, didn't
did.
you?
I'll
Considering
get
numbers. Yeah, I knew you. Anyway, moving on.
Yes.
We're in Port Louis now. We've moved away
Port
from
Louis,
Grand Bay.
right.
Port
Half
Louis.
an hour drive.
Yeah, half an hour drive, 33 minutes. Thereabouts.
South.
Yeah, south.
Okay.
Yeah, moving down.
Dune.
We'll get further down as we go.
Yeah.
if you can bear to stick around at the moment.
We've lost the plot.
I know, it's been chaos,
Yeah.
hasn't it? But we'll get there. So now we're in Port Louis. The main thing, the first thing that we'll come to is Central Market. If anyone's listened to the first two recordings, you'll know that we love the market. We always
love the markets, don't we?
always include a market in the things to do
Yeah.
section. And this one is no different. Central Market. We've even got opening times for you this week.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bloody hell, go
So,
on then.
open from it was easy. It was open 5:30 till 5:30.
Yeah, that's early, 5:30.
5:30,
That's
yeah.
got to be a setting up.
I think it must. Well, no, it says it's open Monday to Saturday 5:30 till 5:30. Then on Sundays 5:30 till 12.
I'm not getting up to go to a market at 5:30 in the morning.
I assume that the locals probably do to avoid
Yeah.
people like you rolling out of your bed 10 o'clock going, should we go to the market then?
I reckon that's probably for like fishmongers,
Potentially.
like fishermen selling their like fish to restaurants for the day or whatever.
Potentially, but I don't
Or
know.
have I got that wrong?
Well, I don't know if it's a commercial market in that way, is like
Oh.
business to business, like sort of
Oh.
stuff. It might well be, but like it probably stands to reason that they would get the produce fresh that morning.
That's what I mean.
set it up.
5:30.
But I mean, even if it says it's open at 5:30, so then people will be there setting up at like 4 in the morning or 3 in the morning, something like
Blech.
every day,
Gross.
because it's even open at 5:30 on a Sunday.
Have a day off.
No,
Just rest your little legs.
stop putting your fish out.
Go to Grand Bay. Enjoy the beach.
Perry Bear Beach.
Is that what it's called? In
Yeah.
Grand Bay?
Yeah,
Perry Bear Beach. Then.
Yeah.
Sorry, I know we talked about that, but I didn't
Obviously
put two and two together.
oh,
So yeah, go to Perry Bear Beach. Just have a day off.
yeah.
The
Have a
market
bit
can
of time
wait
to
till
yourself.
Monday.
Yeah, why not? Anyway,
Anyway, half
In-
5 till half 5.
I think our most used term on these podcasts is anyway.
Anyway, yours is so. Moving on.
Well, yeah, is it any wonder? So, moving on. So it is the largest. Getting back to Central Market.
Yeah.
It's the largest covered market in Mauritius.
As in, it's undercover.
Yes.
It's like a
Like a covered market.
what's that thing called? Gazebo.
Like a gazebo.
Is
I
it
thought you were
in-
going to say like a bazaar or something.
What's that?
Oh god. Bazaar is a large like market souk type of place, but they're generally placed in areas like Morocco and Dubai. And places
Right,
like that.
like no, it's gone.
Yeah, because it's like a bazaar. So whatever you were gonna just liken it to, that's what it is.
No, there's something in Morocco, Marrakesh, and I'm sure it begins with an M, and you go into them, and it's like a maze of markets. What are they called?
Will come to
Morocco at some point.
in time, in the fullness of time.
I
Where
can't remember what that word is.
we'll have to have done a base amount of research, I imagine. Well, I will, Joe probably won't. We'll still be here in a few weeks' time going, what are they called? Something with an N.
It'll come to me.
Yeah, I'm
I'll
sure
let
it
you
will.
know.
Yeah. But also,
Anyway.
anyway.
Anyway, moving on.
Also, underneath in this market store, so what you're going to find in the market, you're going to be finding lots of fresh fruit and veg,
Yes.
fresh produce, and then you're also going to be
Okay.
finding lots of crafts and souvenirs and stuff like that,
Nice.
plus street food. So this is where, like I said, just about there talking in Grand Bay about the street food that you can find at Perry Bear Beach. The street foods you can find in Mauritius, like I said, it's a big amalgamation
Big
of
influence from surrounding
Yeah.
countries.
lots of influence of different cultures. So generally speaking, the street food that you'll find here are going to be farathas.
What's that?
I'll get to in a second.
Okay.
Farathas and dal puri. So generally speaking,
Ooh.
both of those are traditionally like Indian dishes.
Yeah.
So what those will include is generally like a bread version. So the faratha and the dal puri are basically a flatbread type dish. Both of
Yum.
them are like flatbreads.
I bet that's the best flatbread you've ever tasted.
Yeah, well, I suppose actually a faratha is probably closer to like a roti, and the dal puri, because the dal puri
Yeah.
you get the flatbread, and inside it you get like chickpeas, like chana dal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, split peas and all that sort of stuff, and it's all wrapped up.
Yum.
Delicious.
That's right up my street,
and
that is.
it's lightly spiced as well, so
Oh, good for
maybe
you then.
I might be able to partake.
If you think you're bad with spice, you're not. Spruce, you are the worst, aren't you?
yeah.
Do you remember I gave you a jelly bean and I told you it was Jammy Dodger flavour?
Yeah, it definitely.
And it was Carolina Reaper.
Straight from the pits of hell itself.
You're immediately beetroot head. And I was like, oh God, I might have.
Yeah, you initially started laughing, then realised I could have been in mortal danger because I wasn't underselling the amount I can't do spice. And then when you realised...
I thought you were just being dramatic.
I have a water bottle here that I drink every day. I went through 3 of these in like the 30 seconds after I ate the jelly bean.
And wasn't it all on the tip of your tongue because you were scared of it? You knew I was pulling your leg.
No, because they were chewy. Yeah, well, yeah, I was like, I sort of assumed you'd be like making me look a fool or something. So I was like, all right, I'll just try a bit of it. But because it was a jelly bean, the inside's quite sticky. Even once I'd eaten it, it was all stuck in my mouth. So every time I tried to move that out of my mouth, I got it all over again.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah,
that was hot though. I had one of them as well.
It was
that's
a hot
why I was
boy.
like, Bruce needs one of these.
It was tough. It just tasted like pain. There was no taste.
Yeah, it was vile.
Like they hadn't even tried to make it taste of anything apart from just fury.
It was so mad. It was angry.
It was an angry boy.
Angry jelly bean. And I was thinking, how can you fit this much punch like into a jelly bean? It can't be that bad. My head nearly blew off, and I like spice.
Yeah.
I was not a fan of that.
But to carry on this incredible tangent and bring it back to Mauritius slightly, and some lasso it from going over the horizon and drag it back. The next piece of street food is called gâteau piment. In my English accent, gâteau piment. Probably because it's French, it's probably a better, easier way.
Is it like a cake?
No.
Oh.
Which we would assume because of the gâteau.
No. That's
it's
my favourite.
Mauritian chili cakes.
Yum.
Yeah, that's
what that sounds incredible.
See, I'll pull that in with the chili.
Yeah, you've done well there. That wasn't even planned either.
No, obviously it wasn't planned. Everyone can tell that wasn't planned. Everyone's going, Christ, they formatted this well.
They've segued that well.
But yeah, no, they look like, do you know like arancini? You know, like in Italy when you get like risotto balls that have been like deep fried.
Yes. Yeah, I've seen them on TikTok.
Yeah, or like mac and cheese bites.
Yes,
like that.
I know.
I should have led with that. Should have gone with arancini. I knew that was stupid. Foolhardy when I started, but that's what gâteau piment looks like.
A little ball.
Yeah, like a little deep fried ball, and then.
Is it sweet or savoury?
So inside there's this similar to the dal puree. There's a Jana dal inside and a split pea sort of mixture inside.
That sounds so good.
Yeah, they do
That's
sound
up my
good.
street.
Well, imagine that, can't you? Just like walking around the central market there, checking out all the wares with your chili balls and your
gâteau. What are they called?
Gâteau piment.
Piment.
Yeah, like a gâteau, but without the X on the end, and then PIMENT. So it might be
piment.
Piment. I don't know. Piment. I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, either way.
If I go down that route, I'll annoy someone again. So I'm not going to do that. But yeah, so that's the central market. There are 2 more places or things that we want to really explore here coming into Port Louis because it is the capital of Mauritius and it's an incredible place.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, a lot of the times with cities that you find in these like Indian Ocean areas and stuff like that, like Maldives is the same with Mali. There are incredible things to do, but people sort of get put off because they don't feel like it's a bit like the juxtaposition of having like a really like built up cityscape against like that Paradise Island holiday that you wanted is probably a bit too much for people. But if you have chance, yeah, definitely get to Port Louis because the next bit, the Cordon waterfront, it's called.
Yeah.
It's stunning. It's obviously everything you would want to expect from anything called Cordon waterfront. You have the waterfront, the beautiful area that you can walk along. Also, this is for you.
Go on.
Anyone who loves a bit of the Instagramming. There is a place, and we've covered it the other week or the other month, I think, as well, talking about one of the other destinations. It was Port of Vallarta in the first episode in Mexico. Check it out. Plug. It's a street with an umbrella. With the umbrella thing.
Yes, we did talk about it.
Yeah. So.
Oh my God! Yes, get me there.
I believe it's the main drag through the Port Louis basically, or the Cordon waterfront. It's like the cordon waterfront. All above it is all like different coloured umbrellas, and I believe they do change them different colours for like different states and stuff
Oh
like
my
that.
god.
So yeah, so that's where you can go.
Perfect for Instagram.
But there is also for anyone who is kind of sick of like sunbathing all the time and just not really doing anything.
Bit weird if you would be.
I know, strange people.
Yeah, strange people got itchy feet, need to do stuff.
Name of no names, my wife.
My mum. I'm like, can we just sit still? My childhood was being dragged about trying to bloody explore.
Make the most
and
of
I'm
the
like,
day.
I just want to stay on this patch of sand.
This is why my wife doesn't want to go to the Maldives, because she's like, what would I do then?
Yeah.
Like, I like to people watch. I was like, I like to do nothing.
Yeah. I'm like doing nothing.
So this is a little compromise, because like for those people who are like my wife and like your mum, who don't really see the point of lying down all day in the Maldives, Mauritius, because it offers that area of there's lots of things to do.
Yeah.
Where if you're sick of like kind of lying down, you can get down to Cordon Waterfront, and then in the waterfront you also have high-end shops,
Nice.
bars, restaurants, a casino, a craft market, and there's also a cinema.
Wow.
So it's like a full built-up like little
town.
City centre
Is it
town.
city?
It's in Port Louis. So Port Louis is the city, and then the waterfront is just like an area of the city that's a bit more built up as well. So, but I will say, reports suggest that it's quite expensive.
It sounds expensive.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I think anywhere that's got waterfront,
Yeah.
that's gonna be expensive.
But if you're trying to do Mauritius on a budget, I would probably suggest like, which you can do. That's not like a thing to say that like you might be thinking like, oh yeah, do Mauritius on a budget, that's nonsense, you can't do it. You definitely can.
Yeah, you definitely can.
You can be more careful about the way you do it, and one of the ways to do that is you can still have this amazing experience and
just take a picnic.
stop on about a picnic. But yeah, fine, take your picnic from your hotel, yeah, and go to the waterfront. But that isn't as stupid as it sounds, because you can actually sort of walk around the waterfront and have a nice day out there.
Yeah.
You don't have to go...
Enjoy your surroundings without having to splash out on...
Exactly, yeah.
Moules marinara at a restaurant.
Yeah.
Is that how you say it?
Yeah, you don't typically pronounce the S.
Oh, whatever.
We're not French, so...
British aren't I?
British aren't I? Sorry, anything wrong.
Yeah, so, okay,
Yeah.
well that sounds nice though. You could
Yeah.
definitely, like the evening as well, when it's cooled off a little bit, you've got your dress on, after sun's on.
I'd look weird.
Yeah, you'd look weird in a dress. But just walking along the seafront, like...
Yeah, it is supposed to be a beautiful
go for a little
walk.
drink somewhere.
Yeah, because that's not going to damage the budget too much. Go for a little
No,
cocktail.
you don't go on holiday to be scrimping, do
Yeah,
you?
exactly,
Like,
yeah.
you budgeted for these things.
But if you are, then I do have another little... The next place we'll check out in Port Louis is actually quite budget friendly too, because it's all about street art. Which is amazing. Like, we think about places now that are really, really trendy over here in the UK. You're thinking like Easton in Bristol, and then places like Brixton in London there, and the Northern Quarter in Manchester. All of these places, the art scene and the graffiti and the street art and stuff all kind of goes, rather than being like an annoyance that the council get rid of. The government over in Mauritius and the government in the councils, local councils in these places in the UK are actually celebrating local artists, and rather than like letting the buildings go down into decaying old buildings, rather than kind of letting them fall into disrepair, they're actually letting artists go out and put their pictures up onto the walls of the buildings.
Amazing.
Yeah, so
Love
it's like it's a really nice thing. They've got like, so some of the artists, I'll read some of the artists off. If anyone knows anything about graffiti, these artists will mean quite a bit to you, I should imagine. So the artists that generally have around in the street art scene are Armand Gachet, Andrea Wan, David and Joanne Laguesse, and then also if you go...
Joanne?
Yeah, a Joanne.
Ah, it's
Lovely.
me.
But the good thing is, if you did decide to kind of take in Central Market, a lot of the brilliant street art you can find, there's like over 70 pieces dotted around the city, and quite a lot of them are like a central hub of the artwork is around that Central Market area. So literally like probably about 15-minute walk from the market, just in the local area around, there's like loads of these amazing street art, like murals and things like that. The dodo's one of them.
Obviously.
Up on like the side of a house, and then there's also like this really cool image of like a little boy, a schoolboy in like a school uniform, crouching down and crying because of the school that was next to where this the mural's basically painted on a wall of what was a school, but they got rid of it or it had to get knocked down. So the artist come and done that. Yeah,
love that.
So,
tells a story.
Exactly, yeah. So the other area that you should check out if you're into the street art scene is Chinatown.
Chinatown?
There is a Chinatown, yeah. Yeah, again, I suppose it goes in with all those different influences there are in the cuisine. And
I love Chinatown. Whenever I've been to a Chinatown, whether it's London, Birmingham, or whatever, it's amazing. Yeah. It's like being in a whole new world, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Where were we? New York. We went to the Chinatown in New York, and I was just like, honestly, it was like one step you're in New York, and the next step you're literally in China.
Yeah, that's
mad.
It is. Well, yeah, I can imagine it's a pretty weird thing to sort of just like dip straight into.
Yeah.
But like here, there's the street. The weird thing is, like I said, the street art changes as well.
Wow.
So like as you go into Chinatown, the street art starts to get more anime, manga sort of focus. So there's more like anime characters and stuff like that up on the walls and things like that. Yu-Gi-Oh and all that sort of stuff too. Dragon Ball Z. There's lots of those influences.
Classics.
Yeah. And then there's the new the new anime stuff too. But I'm not massively au fait with the names of some of the shows. Sorry, it's not very trendy, is it? I should have known.
But some of the newer stuff is also there.
Yeah,
but also some of the classics.
Classics, yeah, all of it, all of it's there. Anything you could possibly want out of your street art is there.
It's there.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah, so that's basically Port Louis in a nutshell.
Nice.
And then next we'll move on to a couple of other bits before we get into
my bit.
Your area of expertise. So now we've left. I keep saying so as well.
So
now we've left Port Louis and Grand Bay behind. We're gonna move on. I teased at the start. Even the soil in Mauritius is
more coloured.
Yeah.
What colours though?
Even the sun. Even the soil is beautiful there.
Wow.
It's rainbow soil. There are many.
I've got no words.
It's called the 7 shades soil.
Is it just 7 shades of brown?
No, there's like the proper
pink,
different
green, blue.
Yeah, there's like pink. Yeah. You get bogged down in what colours are what, but it's definitely.
We just said colours. It was rainbow soil, so.
That's what. Yeah, I didn't name it that. That's what it's been named. I'm sure by people, not me. Anyway, 7 shades there is to this soil.
Right.
I think that's probably because there's like 7 shades in the rainbow. Maybe that's where that connotation came from. We don't need that after a wander down Jelly Bean Lane. We don't need any more divergences.
I think there's about 7. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, this place is called Chamarel.
Chamarel.
Chamarel, yeah.
Chamarel.
It's a CH at the start.
Twice differently.
Yeah, well, twice differently. Because there's a CH at the start of the world, it's either Chamarel or
that's a sh. Or Chamarel.
Yeah, but it's French as well, isn't it?
Yeah, so Chamarel.
Chamarel. Okay, that's what it is, Chamarel. And you can essentially go to this area, Chamarel, where it's basically a big national park, and obviously you can still go and look at the natural flora and fauna that we discussed in Black River Gorge and all that, and the botanical gardens and all those sort of places. So you can see that wonderful natural landscape again, but then you can also go to this. It's like a viewing deck that you can stand on, and then the sort of soil tiers down.
The 7 shades.
Yeah, the 7 shades of soil like tier across the land.
Does it?
Yeah, it's sort of like, I don't know whether it's because the actual makeup of the soil and the colours are making it split off. But it just like the soil sort of tumbles down and the shades are like in the soil. You can see like bands in the soil where the shades of colour are.
Really?
Yeah, and I believe someone could probably tell me this more accurately, but I believe that the different shades are basically the different ages of soil.
Do you know, when you were talking, I was going to say it's like the lines of a tree.
Yeah, essentially.
That's the vision.
Because there's obviously volcanic activity on Mauritius, so there is volcanic soil in there, and then obviously the different ages of the soil and the minerals in the soil are going to floating throughout the different layers, and that's what makes the different colours. Yeah.
Oh, Cool.
So yeah, that's Chamarel. Give it a check out if you're there as well.
Give it a
Because
try.
I dare say you're never going to see rainbow soil again, are you? Not.
Yeah, you
don't. Not again. That's Chamarel.
Is that right? I don't know the colour of the rainbow.
Richard of York gave battle in vain.
Pardon?
I knew you were going to say
Red?
that.
Who?
Richard of York.
Red and orange and yellow and
Green. Battle in vain. Blue.
And orange and violet.
Why would there be two oranges?
What was it?
Indigo, I would assume, and then violet. The last thing that we'll come to in terms of the best things to do in Mauritius is it's probably a little bit more of a sombre one, but it's actually really, really beautiful too. So it's down in the south coast of, because so far on most of this we've been quite northerly on the island. So
we've been up north.
Up north. Now we're going to move down to the south coast and probably as north as we've been. Probably as north as we've been is probably about as how southerly we're going to be now.
So we're going south.
Deep south. Through the long grass.
Okay.
And when you get down south, you come to a district. So there's loads of districts in most of Mauritius is split out into all the different districts. And the district we're going to look at here is Rivière Noire. Basically Black River, isn't it?
Black River.
Yeah. So
intriguing.
In Rivière Noire is one of the main sightseeing attractions in, well, I suppose natural sightseeing attractions in Mauritius, and that is Le Morne. But Le Morne itself is a village, which is obviously beautiful in its own right. It's a lovely little fishing village, and there's lots of nice little things to do, and again, loads of nice little beaches there too. But the main thing that will dominate any trip to Le Morne is Le Morne Brabant. Now, Le Morne Brabant is a mountain. Now you can see why it dominates most of the trips that you'll take.
Yeah.
Because obviously you'll see it from wherever you are.
Yeah.
I know I say a mountain, but it is designated as a mountain, but I don't want you to think it's like
Everest.
Yeah, it's not thousands of metres up. It's actually just 556 metres high.
So you could climb it.
So it's diddy, yeah. You could probably run up here.
It's a little hill, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a little hill. Yeah, just a diddy one you can run up. But it has an incredibly rich history, this place, because you can get a tour guide and obviously drink this place in because it's insane. So the tour guide will take you up along the paths and stuff like that, and when you get to the summit, you'll basically start reliving some of the history of the island and the past into slavery, basically.
Right.
So what has essentially happened? That Mauritius was like a little bit of a sort of middle point between where slaves came from and where they were being transported to.
Right.
So what happened quite often towards the end of sort of slavery and the slavery period, we're looking like 18th, 19th century.
Yeah.
A lot of slaves started escaping, and a few people call it marooning as well. So what they did is they found a home in Le Morne, and especially Le Morne Brabant, because of how hard it was for people to get up onto Le Morne Brabant, because there's like cliffs and steep drops and stuff like that, and the weathers can be a bit harsh when you get up there. There's also lots of little caves at the top around the summit.
Really?
So back in like the 18th, 19th century, there was lots of little slave settlements up in Le Morne Brabant, and you can still to this day go and like have a look around the caves, take a tour guide. Take the tour guide will take you through. Yeah, so obviously it's an incredibly harrowing time, but there's no escaping it. That is the history of the island, and if you're going to go there and you want to learn a bit more about, and you're into your history and stuff like that, obviously throughout the Caribbean and through Indian Ocean, you're probably not going to escape slavery in terms of like seeking out history and colonialism and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. So instead of like sort of shying away from it, I think it's a really a good idea to kind of get out there and start taking in these places, because it is a beautiful place to be as well. Like the mountain itself is like green tinged, and like you say, get into the caves, see how they were living, and hear some of the stories, because that's how we kind of keep this stuff alive today, and we can start regurgitating those stories too. So wow, definitely take the chance to go and see Le Morne Brabant. Yeah. And then on that more sombre note, we need to turn now to the final thing that we have before we move into the silly area, your area, which is the dream.
Silly area?
Silly area.
I think that's actually the best bit.
I suppose it probably is the best bit, to be honest, because the other option is listening to me prattle on. So.
Actually, I've learned a lot from you these last 3 episodes.
God, I'm glad.
Yeah. I'm glad I didn't do any research, because I could just learn it all from you.
And me, I'm glad you didn't as well. Really brilliant it is. Anyway, by now, I don't know.
You should have somehow realised.
That is a level of contribution to this. I'll do the research. You'll start just singing randomly.
Well, you shouldn't start talking lyrics then, should you?
Well, true. Yeah, no, it's my fault if anything. Yeah. But if you've seen the other two podcasts or you've heard the other two podcasts, you'll know we like to end our things to do section with a dream itinerary.
Yes.
First week it was my go, or well, first episode it was my go. Second episode was your go. So we're back to me again now.
Back to you.
So it's my turn to pick my dream itinerary from what we've just been discussing in Mauritius.
So go on then, what's your dream itinerary? What are you going to get up to when you're in Mauritius?
So I think I think we normally do it where we split it off into sort of three. I'd say 3 over 7 nights. If you go for 7 nights, 3 things is probably a good.
Yeah, that's probably a nice number.
Yeah, so I would say Grand Bay.
Yeah, you got to.
Starting at Grand Bay, Perry Bear Beach, I would say is probably my sort of thing, because if you're going to Mauritius, you want to know that you're spending some time on one of the best beaches knocking around.
Yeah, so, you do, yeah.
And that sounds incredible. The sunsets, the food, the snorkeling, it all sounds like.
Oh yeah, you sold me with that sunset thing.
Yeah.
The sunset, the food, and what was the other thing?
Snorkeling.
Glad
to say I made a mark.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were saying before that I've taught you so much.
Yeah, you have taught me loads.
Yeah, I can see that. Then, after that,
go on.
Yeah, after Perry Bear Beach, it's time to get a bit more cultural. So we'll go to Port Louis, and I really want to do the waterfront, because in this scenario I've got loads of money.
Bougie.
Oh yeah. And then the waterfront, and do all of that, all the pictures, all the things that you can do in Cordon waterfront, because I like a built up area where you can go and have a bit of a
I can imagine you in your Birkenstocks, you and Abby in your matching Birkenstocks.
Yeah, they exist.
I know they do. Walking along the seafront, full off your picnic, I love that.
I'm not even sad about it. It sounds
no,
like a great day.
I know. This is what I mean. I'm being serious. I can imagine you both doing that. Very cute.
But while we're there, I would really, really like to go and see some of the street art.
Yeah.
So I would definitely take a bit of a tour of that.
Yeah, sells abs.
And don't worry about her. She'll go back to the hotel then or something, I imagine. But
well, she likes doing stuff, so she might like it.
She likes doing stuff. I assume.
What I mean is,
Who
she
doesn't
like sitting still.
No, true. Yeah. So. Yeah, and I think actually within the street art you can actually take dedicated tours to see the street art.
Oh, can you?
So I probably should have brought that up at the time, but
half a job.
No time like the present. So yeah, I'd take a tour that I may or may not have just made up. No, you definitely can. You can go around and take tours of the street art and stuff, because the government are so happy that it's there and it's that sort of thing. And then to round off the trip, my final thing I would do is definitely go down to the south coast and see Le Morne.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, soak up a bit of history,
love a bit of history.
Culture.
Yeah, love a bit of history, and it just looks like an incredibly beautiful place. So that would be me. That would be my dream Mauritius itinerary.
Love. Well done.
Thanks very much.
I'm here for it. Okay, time has come.
Here we go.
We are going to, first of all, take a little travel tribulation out of the travel tribulation trough. This is where we basically take a flip-flop out of the travel tribulation trough and we just talk about what it is.
Yeah, it's like
a debate.
Yeah, it's like a general travel issue, or
there's always something, isn't there?
Yeah, there's always frustration with travel, and this is just general ones that we've sort of come up against in just with us travelling and stuff like that, and we'll just basically debate what that is.
What it is.
Yeah.
Go on then, take a dive.
I'll have a rummage.
Hopefully it's not the same one as last week.
I know that happened twice. I just picked up the same thing twice. Right, here's a deep rummage.
There's nothing on that.
That one's blank.
That was blank. Oh. What is wrong with you? Oh. Why are they all blank?
Oh, there is one on this one. Here we go.
Okay.
Oh, it's a biggie. Smelly food on a plane.
Against the law.
Can't do it.
Straight away.
I would say, you're not really in control of that, are you?
What do you mean?
Because is this? Do you read this as? I'm getting rid of that. Do you read that as then smelly food that you have taken on a plane, or smelly food that you've been given on a plane?
No, that you've taken on a plane.
Oh, so like someone bringing their like fish casserole from there.
Oh, absolutely not. You need to hit the eject button right now.
But you can't warm. Or maybe if they're taking it in a thermos or something.
What's that?
What's that? Like a flask, like something to keep it warm.
Like a chowder.
Well, because all I'm saying is, like, if it's a cold thing, it's not going to be that smelly, is it?
Well, actually, you say this, but on the flight to that Fuerteventura holiday from hell made it good because that's what you make of it, that we talked about last week.
Yeah.
There was a kid that opened a packet of poppadoms.
Poppadoms?
Right, and you might think, that's a nice smell, nice savoury smell.
Know.
It smelled like a goat's fart. Like, I don't know what happened. Well, what happens when you get in the air?
You've been around
but
many
your
flats
senses
on
are
goats.
heightened. Like, your taste obviously disappears, but your smell is like 10 times.
Maybe because it's the same air, though, isn't it? It's the regurgitated air. And the
it
aircon.
was. It smelled like there was a goat on board.
Just goat fart coming out.
Yeah, just
all
goat
time.
fart coming out the aircon. Horrendous.
It's just poppadom. What? Like a?
I know.
Hang on. I'm
No,
not trying to get my head around
you know,
it.
like Sensations do like. Is it Sensations?
Oh.
And they do like a pack of like mini
So it
poppadoms.
wasn't just a-
delicious,
Yeah.
but stinky.
So he wasn't just opening like a pack of poppadoms.
Yeah,
and
this kid,
got
like
from the
8 years
shop.
old, sat next to me. Like we were on a row of 3, and he's just like on the aisle, and we're just trapped in this goat fart in the air. Anyway, it's illegal. You shouldn't be taking smelly food on board plane.
I don't know. I've yet.
You're that smelly food guy, aren't you? You're the guy. You're the guy.
Is it like that? If you can't tell like the bad apple in your group, it's you.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I can't. All I'm saying is I haven't been on a plane because mine are long haul. I'm a long haul boy.
All right,
Yeah.
someone's doing well.
So you're not going to take food on them. It's there for you.
Take snacks.
Take snacks. They're not
Come
going to
on.
smell, are
I'm
they?
not paying £10 for a Twix on board. I'm taking the 8 Twix.
I'm living lavish. It's a long haul. I'm in. Give me the £10 Twix.
All right.
Me too.
Yeah, all right, fine.
Just need senseless stuff like that. That's
Yeah,
what
no,
I'm into.
money don't exist on the plane.
No, get rid of it.
Anyway, no.
Right, okay, it's a no.
That's a no. What would you do if someone just whipped out a mackerel soup next to you?
I'd wonder, how did he make mackerel soup?
Where's he had that from?
B, I'd think, there's a million other fish I would put in a soup before I put a mackerel in it.
Well, that's just the first smelliest fish I thought of.
And then C, I'd probably think how industrious. He's done well there.
No, he hasn't done well. He could have ate that in the departure lounge.
He's thought to himself, it's just going to be a long flight and I'd really like mackerel soup. So I'm going to try and whip up a batch and I'll put it in my thermos and I'll take it on the plane.
You and your bloody thermos.
Shout out to thermos.
Is it a brand?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, thermos.
I don't know if it's one of those things that like you just call a thermos.
Like a Pyrex dish.
Yeah.
And it's just a glass dish.
Because that's the brand you know that make them.
Right.
I don't know if it's that sort of thing.
Anyway, it's illegal. Shouldn't do it.
I don't mind. I mean, I've never come across it, but all right, we'll go with no. I can understand why it'd be frustrating.
Okay, on to a funny travel story because I'm getting angry at that one. I can feel it. Okay, so now I've decided that having smelly food on a plane is illegal. Even though you were trying to be that guy to have an opposing argument, it's not happening.
I don't mind it.
I've made the decision.
And in the break, producer Tobes, she said she didn't mind it either.
Yeah, but producer Tobes is a bit weird. She's a bit weird. She's an advocate for smelly food, and I think that's weird.
She flies the flag.
Yeah, she does. And I'm all here for it, but just don't do it in an enclosed space where we're on a flight for 10 hours, you know? Have a bit of self-awareness.
I think you do, you man. Eat your mackerel soup. That make you happy?
Please don't. Anyway, moving on to the funny story. Now, we've steered clear from poo this week.
Yeah, finally.
No poo. So, but it does contain nudity.
Oh, right, okay.
So, are you ready?
Just to caveat these first, in case anyone's missed the first couple of episodes. So, every week we get people to send in their funny travel stories, and we'll basically you read them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what they are. I've never seen any of them, but so this will be the first time I'll have heard it.
Yeah.
So yeah, Joe will go through where to send your stories in a second, but yeah, let's.
Yeah, I'll just do it now. So you can send your funny stories into our email address at checkindeskpodcast@bluebaytravel.co.uk, or you can reach us on socials at bluebaytravel. You can either text it or send a voice note. Either way, it's just as fun. So I'm going to get your sort of reaction now.
I'm initially relaxed
Yeah.
because I know there's no feces.
Yeah, it's no poo. Well, it might be, but it's not mentioned.
I don't mind the poo stories, but
They're my favourite.
it's nice to hear the new stuff every now and again.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Spice it up. Okay, so this has been submitted by someone in the office.
Okay.
Don't know who. They're obviously anonymous.
Yep.
So, are you ready?
I'm
Strap in.
as I'll ever be.
Okay. I went on holiday to Croatia with my best friend's family, a small island where you rented bikes and biked everywhere.
Lovely.
Doesn't that sound great?
Sounds nice, yeah.
Even though I don't like cycling, but I could probably do it in Croatia.
It's like an odd lad in the side.
If it's flat, I'll do it.
I don't like biking, but yeah, Croatia, yeah. I'm not biking unless it's in Croatia.
And flat. I'm not getting up a hill.
We'll come on back. I don't know whether to have a go at you about this now or not. What makes you think Croatia's flat?
I don't know.
You're just assuming that it's a flat
My
nation.
imagination.
Right. Okay.
Is it on a hill?
What, the whole country? Well, is the whole of Croatia on a hill?
I don't know. Is it hilly?
Yeah.
Is it?
Well, everywhere's hilly,
Well,
isn't
I was
it?
watching what's that programme where they're on a yacht?
I don't know.
Anyway.
Below deck.
Yes,
Oh,
Mediterranean, and they were in Croatia, and it looked pretty flat to me, apart from when they were climbing the stairs up this hill. But
So,
like the floor.
Up a hill, which in itself is not flat.
Yeah, but the paths look flat.
Right.
Anyway,
Okay.
maybe I wouldn't be cycling around Croatia. Okay, to get to the main clothed beach,
Oh,
you have to pass a nudist beach.
nice.
You know, you do you. We were biking along in a row of 4 with my best friend at the front. So bearing in mind, she's on holiday with her best friend's family. She's the outcast here.
The outcast.
Like, you know what I mean? She's not blood related, is she?
No. Okay.
There were nudists everywhere. On the path, we met a lady, and my best friend was riding along, and it was a struggle to see who was going to go which way. So they've got a bit of a Mexican standoff with a pedestrian who's in the buff, and someone coming at fast speed on a bike, and you're like closed, yeah, and you're like unsure of which way you're gonna go. Like, that's awkward enough, let alone when one is you naked. And anyway, she goes on to say right, left, etc. Just in case.
just dancing in the street.
Just dancing in the street.
This old naked guy.
It was a woman.
Oh, right.
We met a lady on the path who was naked.
Fair enough.
So she's just
Dancing around.
Yeah, dancing around. And they both ended up going the same way. And my best friend's eyes were shocked. She collided with the lady and she jumped back, hands in the air, showing everything off. Can you imagine? Like, you're already traumatised because you've ran an old lady over.
Yeah.
Like, I'm presuming she's old, but...
That's a pull.
Sorry. You just ran a lady over, probably landed on top of her while she's just in the nude.
Yeah, and there's absolutely no way in that you touch like a harmless part of the body, like her arm or something like that.
Any part of that is too much contact at that point.
Yeah.
Oh, that poor woman. And then they've said, they finished it off with, it's a sight we'll sadly never forget. I've got the sight in my head and I wasn't even there.
I can just picture cycling along and then this woman's boobs just coming towards you. She's like, oh no, no.
And her arms in the air, just like leaving nothing to the imagination. Oh God, no.
just smashing into naked tourists.
Like bowling, skittles.
I think well done.
Yeah, and what happened to the rest of her family? Like, did they all just carry on?
I would. I'd
be like,
straight
you're on
round.
your own here, pal.
I'd be like, who is that tourist bashing into naked people? Straight away, straight round.
I'd 100%
Forget about it. You know what they do
disown
on,
you.
Do you know what they do on Top Gear when one of them breaks down? I'd be like, gone straight out.
Straight past.
I'm gone past, mate.
Absolutely. See you later.
And then when they got to the beach that you eventually, I'm assuming they ended up at the clothed beach.
That's where they were heading, I think, yeah.
And when they got there, they'd be like, oh, what happened to you?
Where did you go? We lost you.
Last time I seen you, you were smashing into a naked lady.
I just hope that lady was okay.
I'm assuming.
She's got no protection on her.
I'm thinking burn, tyre burn.
She's got some kind of burn. Concrete burn. Were they on concrete?
I'm assuming they'd be on concrete.
Oh yeah, on the path.
Yeah, so she's either concrete burn.
Also, why is she on the path naked? Surely that's not restricted to the beach.
I don't know.
Unless it's like a boardwalk or something.
The naked boardwalk.
Mabes. I don't know.
Just all sorts of burn going on.
Yeah.
Robber burn, sunburn.
She's not coming out of that scrape free, is she?
No chance. And I bet they get
chance.
everywhere.
Hmm?
Like you'll just have a scrape in the weirdest of places there.
Yeah. Yeah, where you never thought you could get scraped.
Yeah. Yeah, them areas.
So remember, if you have got a funny story and you'd like to get in touch and get involved with the podcast, you can email us at checkindeskpodcast@bluebaytravel.co.uk or reach us across all socials at bluebaytravel.
Yeah, and that's it. That brings another episode of the Check-In Desk to a steady conclusion.
Yeah.
Episode 3 in the can.
Woohoo! Hat trick!
I know, this
Should we
one.
just stop here now?
I feel like this one's the ropiest one we've done.
I can only get better.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's it. If you like the other ones, then this one is. Oh, you know that the other ones are much better.
Yeah.
So, anyway, thanks so much for tuning in. The podcast will be available at all great podcast locations, and like Joe said, you can get us across social too to get involved. Please do get involved. Give us any holidays and stories that you found on your trips, and then next time we'll be coming up real soon with our next episode, which will be all things
Maldives.
Yeah. So if you've ever been to the Maldives, let us know. What did you get up there? What did you like? What are the best things to do? We'll run through all of that, and then obviously this one will come with some more stupid stories too. See you next time.
Bye.